everyone, this is Karen.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Spider Shane.
Today we're looking at part 2 of Tom Holland.
From ballet to Spider-Man and beyond.
And the vocabulary words are background.
Background.
The company hasn't hired Susan yet because they want to know more about her background.
Define.
Define.
Travis feels that his job does not define who he is as a person.
Career.
Career.
I think a career in science best suits you.
Adventure.
Adventure.
Brett told me about an adventure novel that he is reading.
Charity.
Charity.
My brother works for a charity that provides food and clothing for the homeless. So we're still talking about this talented actor and dancer, Tom Holland. Shoo, 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 Spider-Man.
Right. Did you know that, in fact, he performs his own stunts in Spider-Man?
You are joking.
Usually they have a stuntman, right?
That's right.
Especially if you're a big actor or something like that.
Because it could be a little dangerous, right?
Or perhaps you don't have the skills to do some of the movements that you need to do. But because of his dancing background, he's actually really good at doing flips and everything you see him doing. That's not a stuntman. That's him.
That's pretty awesome. And I think he doesn't want to just have Spider-Man define his career. So he's actually trying out different kind of roles like, you know, crimes, adventures, or there's also like many different types, even sci-fi too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't just stop there because he also helps the community, right? So they have something called the Brothers Trust.
That's right.
And what that does is help get money for some charities that don't get a lot of public attention.
Wow.
So, of course, you know, if the charity's not in the spotlight, maybe people aren't going to be giving money. So he tries to get money to those important but not so well-known charities.
What an awesome person.
Awesome person from an awesome family, too.
All right, let's learn more about Tom Holland.
Tom Holland, from ballet to Spider-Man and beyond.
Today, everyone knows Holland as Peter Parker, the teenager who fights evil alongside other Marvel heroes like Iron Man and Thor. Thanks to his dance background, he's able to perform all of his own stunts in the films. When you see Spider-Man do a backflip, that's really Holland showing off his own amazing abilities.
Welcome to today's lesson. It's called Tom Holland, from ballet to Spider-Man and beyond. Part 2. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike, and yes, we are traveling through the career of young Tom Holland. He's still young. He started very young. He continues to be young, but he won't be young forever. But he did start very young as a young dancer, and then he learned ballet for 2 years. He started as Billy Elliot in the West End, sort of Broadway there in London, doing the musical Billy Elliot. But of course, it was his star turn, his big chance, his big opportunity as Peter Parker or Spider-Man. But he's got a lot of other things coming up too. He's not going to be Spider-Man forever.
No, he's got a 6-picture deal. Wow. After that, he'll probably move on and do something else.
Cool.
Or retire, because he'll have tons of money. Anyways, though, let's get started with today's lesson. Today, everyone knows Holland as Peter Parker, the teenager who fights evil alongside other Marvel heroes like Iron Man and Thor on the Avengers. Now, thanks to his dance background, he's able to perform all of his own stunts in the films. By the way, here, when we're using the word background, we're talking about someone's history or experience with something. For example, the company hasn't hired Susan yet because they want to know more about her background. Yeah, your resume is kind of incomplete. We need to know more about your past.
Of course. Now, yes, when you've seen the Avengers movies, the Spider-Man movies, as you said, Spider-Man doesn't dance very much. But with an experience in dance, with a background in dance, he's very physically capable. He can do things with his body that other people, non-dancers, might have more trouble with. And of course, they've used these skills as Spider-Man. So when you see Spider-Man do a backflip in the movies, that's really Holland showing off his own amazing abilities. So if it was someone without a dance background, they might have to get a stunt person to do these tricks.
I know I would.
Right,
I can't do a backflip.
You don't have a dance background. They might have to use CGI and things like that. Now, of course, when he's climbing up the side of a building, that's probably some computers at work there. But when he's jumping around, when he's doing some amazing things on his own 2 feet, that really is Tom Holland under that mask and not a stunt person because of these amazing abilities and his dance background. Where we're going to dance off to a quick break and then we'll tap our way back for the next part of the article.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课程要继续来了解 Tom Holland 这位演员。课文标题写到说 ，Tom Holland 从芭蕾跳到蜘蛛人，不断的挑战自我。芭蕾舞跟蜘蛛人有什么关联性啊？原来啊，就是因为他的舞蹈背景，让他能够在蜘蛛人电影里面表演所有的特技动作。当我们看到蜘蛛人在后空翻的时候，那可不是替身或是电脑特效哦，而是 Tom Holland 他本人亲自上阵，展现出令人赞叹的能力。好，文中用到 stunt 就可以用来指特技表演，那我们可以在后面加 person，stunt person 就是指特技演员。好 ，Mike 老师刚刚还有说到 CGI， 则是用来指这个电脑合成影像啊，或是电脑动画图像。好，那么单字 background 它是指背景或是学经历。那顺便补充一下，如果是履历表，我们就是会用 resume 这个字 ，resume。那常常会看到这两个 e 上面是有一撇的 ，resume 就是履历表。这话课文中。
Tom Holland, from ballet to Spider-Man and beyond.
Although Spider-Man is a huge role, Holland doesn't want to let it define his whole career. That's why, in addition to another Spider-Man film, Holland has crime, adventure, and even science fiction films all coming up. He hopes that all this work will help him move on to a role as a director. In fact, he already has some film ideas in the works.
Okay, Tom Holland, he's Spider-Man. And that's that. He's known worldwide for being Spider-Man. But although Spider-Man is a huge role, Holland doesn't want to let it define his whole career. He wants to have a life outside of acting, maybe, and being Spider-Man. Maybe he wants to go back to being a carpenter one day after he leaves acting.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a good idea for an actor. You don't want to be defined as one type of actor or limited to one style of movie. When we define things, well, we could use this to say we describe them. We kind of give you an idea of what they are. We draw a picture using words to give you, a more of a clear idea of something, of what something is. But we also use it to kind of say we put things in a category or we put things in a box. When actors are defined by a certain type of movie, we might say, oh, The Rock, he does action movies where he uses his big muscles and stuff like that.
That's who you are. That's that.
That's who you are. We put you in that category. Let's talk about this word defined by looking at the example sentence. Travis feels that his job does not define who he is as a person. Yeah, he's a computer engineer. People might think that he's a little boring and he's always tapping away on his computer, but he actually likes to play jazz music on the weekends, and he's an artist too. So he's not defined by his job.
That's what I do for a living. living.
Yeah, it's not me.
That's my career.
It's not my whole personality,
But
though.
it's not who I am down deep. It doesn't define me. Now, speaking of the word career, the word career refers to your job. But more specifically, your career is something that you often train for, to do for your entire life, to make money, to support yourself, so on, so forth. For example, I think a career in science best suits you. Yeah, you should be a researcher or something like that. Anyways, Tom Holland, he doesn't want Spider-Man to define him, and that's why, in addition to another Spider-Man film, Holland has crime, adventure, and even science fiction films all coming up.
Wow.
Get ready, folks. He is going to be everywhere. His mug is going to be plastered everywhere.
His face on a lot of movie posters.
Yes.
All right. So, yes, he does have another superhero film coming up, another Spider-Man film. But as you can see, he doesn't want to be defined as just a superhero action movie actor. He's going to do a crime film, an adventure film, and some science fiction. Not Spider-Man in space, something totally different. When we talk about adventure, we talk about an exciting experience. If you go canoeing through the Amazon, that would be an adventure. That would be an exciting experience. And so an adventure film would kind of be like an action film. There'll be some danger, there'll be some exciting scenes, fist fights, car chases, things like that. It won't leave you sitting in your chair falling asleep after 20 minutes. It will have a lot of action, excitement, and adventure. For example, Brett told me about an adventure novel that he is reading. So, Tom Holland has a lot of different movies coming up, and he hopes, we read as we come to the break, he hopes that all this work will help him move on to a role as a director.
How ambitious.
Interesting.
He wants to move from being an actor to a director. In
Action!
fact,
Cut!
yeah, in fact, he already has some film ideas in the works. How
Really?
about that? All right, folks, with that, it's time for another break, but don't go away. We'll be back soon.
现在大家都知道 Tom Holland 就是蜘蛛人，但他不想被这个角色定型，他不希望整个职业生涯呢都受限于这个角色。那就是为什么除了另一部蜘蛛人电影之外 ，Tom Holland 还会有这个犯罪、冒险，甚至是科幻电影要准备上映。那接下来可能到处都会张贴他的电影海报。Jeff 老师刚刚用到 plaster 这个字 ，P-L-A-S-T-E-R。Plaster 当动词可以表达粘贴、贴满，这个字也有涂上灰泥的意思。还有用到 mug 这个字，它不是指马克杯吗？那么 mug 在口语里面，它还可以指脸蛋的意思。好，那这边还有3个单字哦 ，define，它表示给什么来下定义或者是限定的意思。Mike 老师在解释单字时用到 category，category 表示种类、类别。下一个单字 career 它是指职业生涯或者指职业事业，那这个职业通常是指长期的哦。好，再来看 adventure 它是指冒险经历。那这边还有3个重点，第一个。That's why 主词加动词是用来表达那就是什么什么的原因，那就是为什么怎么样。那么句型这个 why 是用来引导名词子句来当主词补语用。例如 He was diagnosed with cancer. That's why he quit smoking. 他被诊断出有癌症，那就是他戒烟的原因。第二个重点。片语介系词 in addition to 之后呢，是接名词或动名词来表达除了什么什么之外还怎么样，或是还有什么。那 in addition to 就跟这个介系词 besides 意思用法相同。例如 I'd like some chicken nuggets in addition to French fries. 除了薯条之外，我还要一些鸡块。第3个重点 something be coming up 表示某事物它即将到来或是即将有什么什么。举例来说 A great exhibition is coming up 最近将有一个很棒的展览。好，接回到课文中。
Tom Holland, from ballet to Spider-Man and beyond.
Besides acting, Holland works with his parents and his 3 younger brothers to run the family's charity, the Brothers Trust. The organization raises money for charities that don't get a lot of public attention. For someone who's only 24 years old, Holland sure has made his mark on popular culture. As he swings into the next chapter of his cinematic career, Tom Holland is out to show the world that you don't need to be Spider-Man to be spectacular.
Okay, so besides acting, Holland, well, he does other stuff.
Really? Very interesting. Let's find out what he's doing when he's not acting or preparing movies to direct. It says besides acting, Holland works with his parents and his 3 younger brothers to run the family's charity, the Brothers Trust. How nice, how wonderful, what a great thing for them to do as a family.
I like how he hasn't even put his name on it. The Tom Holland Foundation, that would sound audacious and kind of pretentious. No, this is just the Brothers Trust. How nice. And yes, this is a family charity. A charity, everyone, by the way, is an organization that helps people out, okay? It usually helps people who need help, I should say. It's an organization that helps the needy. One thing, usually charities are non-profit. They're not in it for the dollar or to make money. For example, my brother works for a charity that provides food and clothing for the homeless. So there you go.
That's wonderful. That sounds like a really good charity. What about the Brothers Trust, the Tom Holland or the Holland family charity? It says the organization or the charity, the Brothers Trust, the organization raises money for charities that don't get a lot of public attention. Oh, interesting. So he can kind of move from idea to, issue to, good cause that he thinks really needs a bit of attention. There are a lot of charities out there. A lot of us know some of the well-known ones, Greenpeace or Amnesty International, but there are many that don't get a lot of public attention. Maybe they're helping people in a smaller, less noticed part of the world, or an issue that only a few people have problems with, but they still need help, they still need attention, and Tom Holland, being a big star, can bring some attention and some money to these charities. That's a great idea.
Let's start wrapping things up. For someone who's only 24 years old, Holland sure has made his mark on popular culture, and when I shook my head there, I wasn't shaking my head at Tom Holland. He's a great guy. I'm thinking about how little I've achieved in my life. I'm a lot older than 24. Anyways, as he swings into the next chapter of his cinematic career, Tom Holland is out to show the world that you don't need to be Spider-Man to be spectacular. You can be someone like just Tom Holland. Anyways, folks, that's it for our article. And now we have the What Do You Think question. Hey, Mike.
Yes.
Which movie featuring Tom Holland is your favorite? And if you haven't seen any of Tom Holland's movies, which one would you like to see?
Well, I actually haven't looked at a list of many of his movies, but I'd say my favorite movie is Captain America Civil War. I think he was in that one. There was
Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man Home. I didn't see that one.
Oh.
Anyways, one of the Marvel movies I thought was pretty good. In that movie, Tom Holland played Spider-Man. He was kind of young. He was kind of enthusiastic. You know, Iron Man was kind of acting as his mentor. It was very good, and I thought Tom Holland was entertaining. But I would also be interested to see him in a crime film or that science fiction film. Pretty much anything where he's not Spider-Man. Because, yeah, I think he is a young, talented guy, and I'd just like to see him in something different. So I will definitely be paying attention to what's coming up.
Could Tom Holland be a bad guy?
Good question. Or maybe could he be James Bond in 10, 20 years? Possibly. Who knows?
Anyways, folks, with that, our lesson is now in the books, and it's time for us to say bye-bye.
Take care.
除了演戏之外 ，Tom Holland 还跟他的父母以及3个弟弟一起经营家庭的慈善机构，叫做 The Brothers Trust。那这个组织呢，是在为那些默默无闻的慈善机构募款。好，来看 charity 这个字 ，charity 当不可数名词可以指慈善事业，那么当可数名词就可以用来指慈善团体。那么慈善机构它往往是非盈利的，我们来学一下 non-profit， 就是形容非盈利的，它是拼作 NONPROFIT non-profit。Mike 老师刚刚有列举几个组织，那么老师有提到这个 Amnesty International 是指国际特赦组织。好，那么再补充一下哦 ，Jeff 老师开玩笑说，还好 Tom Holland 没有用他自己的名字来替这个组织命名，不然听起来好像有点鲁莽又自以为是的感觉。好，这时候老师用到2个形容词，一个是 audacious。audacious 可以形容是鲁莽的、大胆的，或是勇于冒险的。还有 pretentious，pretentious 可以形容是做作的，或是自命不凡的。好，那么课文最后写到说，对于一个只有24岁的人来说 ，Tom Holland 他肯定在流行文化中产生了一些影响。好，那这边有一个重点哦，当我们说 make a mark 或是 make one's mark。或是 leave a mark， 或是 leave one's mark， 后面加 on， 再加某人或某事物，就可以表达对什么什么留下深刻印象，留下深远的影响。好，其中的 mark 是当名词来表达记号或是印记。举例来说 ，Her passion for teaching left its mark on her students。她的教学热忱对学生们造成了深远的影响。好，那 Mike 老师最后聊到 Tom Holland 他演过的电影当中呢，他自己最喜欢的是《美国队长3：英雄内战》那一部。在这电影里面呢，钢铁人和蜘蛛人就有那种亦师亦友的关系，那么钢铁人就好像是他的精神导师一样。Mike 老师刚刚用到 mentor 这个字 mentor，mentor 可以指指导者、精神导师、亦师亦友的人。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Is there anybody out there? That is a question many people have thought about for a long time. Scientists have been using radio telescopes to listen for signals from space. In the past, people have also sent messages to the stars. NASA sent out radio waves of popular music and old TV shows. They hoped that aliens would receive the messages and establish contact with Earth. However, not everyone thinks it's a good idea to search for life on other planets. What if the aliens are dangerous? Maybe they will attack us if they find out Earth's location. Still, some people believe contacting aliens is a good idea. It would be nice to know if humans are alone in the universe or not. What do you think? Should we continue to look for aliens? Or is it better to remain silent so that no one can find us?
Here is more information.
Abduct. The man tried to abduct the child, but the police stopped him. Analyze. The doctor analyzed Jim's blood. Astronomer. The astronomer found a new planet. Claim. She claims she saw an alien. but I don't believe her. Detect. The dog detected the earthquake before it happened. Infected. Clean that cut or it will get infected. Participate. 8 people participated in the game. Quarantine. Tina was quarantined at the airport because she had a fever. Sighting. There was a bear sighting this morning, so be careful on your hike. Support. Ian works hard to support his family. So, what did you think of today's lesson? Pretty interesting, right? We hope to see you again next time.
See you next time!